There's a moment no one talks about. The moment you walk into your own home and feel like a stranger. You close the door behind you, look around, and you don't feel peace. You feel pressure. The dishes in the sink aren't just dirty plates. They're a reminder that you've been too tired to care. The clothes on the floor? They've been there so long, they feel like part of the furniture. And the silence, it's loud. Not calming, not comforting, just loud. But here's the twist. The mess isn't just physical. It's emotional, spiritual, psychological. And it builds slowly. It begins with tiny decisions. To let that bag sit unpacked for a few days. To ignore the pile of mail on the table. To let the trash overflow just once because I'll get it tomorrow. But those tomorrows keep stacking, and before long, your home becomes a reflection of what you're avoiding in life. Mistake number 1. Thinking your home is just a place, not an energy. You treat your home like it's just 4 walls, somewhere to crash, to eat, to scroll through your phone until you fall asleep. But your home is the most powerful emotional mirror you have. And when it's full of clutter, chaos, or neglect, it doesn't just make things harder. It silently robs your peace. It teaches you, without words, that you don't deserve rest, that your life is just survival. How to fix it? Start by treating your space like a relationship, not a task, a relationship. One you care about, one you show love to. You don't have to go full Marie Kondo. Just start with one corner. Clean it not like you're checking a chore off a list. Clean it like you're telling yourself, I deserve to feel safe here. Because once you believe that, things shift. You'll notice it in your mood, your decisions, even your sleep. The energy around you will start reflecting the energy within you, and vice versa. Mistake number 2. Living in temporary setups for years. Maybe you've said this before. I'll get to decorating once I move out. Or, this is just for now. I'm saving for something better. That mindset becomes dangerous, because just for now has a sneaky way of turning into years of self-abandonment. You start accepting bland, empty walls, plastic drawers, broken shelves. You eat on the couch because the dining table's covered in random junk. And you convince yourself it's fine. But here's the truth. When you live in transition, you live small. You stop honoring your space, and you stop honoring yourself. You tell your nervous system every day, don't get comfortable here. You're not worthy of stability yet. And guess what? That feeling bleeds into your relationships, your work, your self-image. You start treating everything in your life like a placeholder. How to fix it? Make wherever you are feel like home, even if you'll move in a year, even if it's temporary. Buy that plant, hang that picture, light that candle, eat at the table, make your bed like someone who matters is coming over tonight. Even if it's just you, because it is just you. And that's enough of a reason. Personal moment. I once lived in an apartment for 3 years and never bought curtains. The blinds were broken, and I told myself, it's fine. I don't need all that. But every night I felt exposed, like the world could see right into my life. I didn't realize I was telling myself, you don't deserve privacy. You don't deserve comfort. One night I finally broke. I went to the store, bought some curtains, came home, hung them up, and just cried. Not because they were perfect, but because I finally showed up for myself. I gave myself safety, and that changed everything. Mistake number 3, letting your home reflect only your exhaustion. You ever notice how your home becomes a museum of your burnout? The pile of laundry on the chair, the stack of unopened packages, the dim light bulb you never replace. It all says one thing. I'm surviving, not living. We glamorize hustle culture. We say, I've just been so busy. But what we're really doing is normalizing burnout. And when your home reflects that, when it looks like a space where no one's truly alive, you start living up to that identity. You stop inviting people over. You avoid mirrors. You convince yourself it's just what adulthood looks like. But it's not. That's just resignation. How to fix it? Build one ritual that restores you. Maybe it's lighting incense every evening and playing music while you clean. Maybe it's a 5-minute reset before bed, putting things back where they belong. Maybe it's opening the blinds in the morning and letting the light in while you sip something warm. You don't need a perfect home. You need a healing one. Most people don't live in the present. They live in memories. You walk into their home and it's filled with ghosts. Souvenirs from relationships that ended, clothes that don't fit anymore, papers from jobs they left years ago, drawers stuffed with dead batteries, tangled cables, and things they swore would be useful someday. But that someday never comes. And what they don't realize is this: every object you keep tells a story about the person you used to be. And the more of the past you hold on to, the less space you give the present or the future to breathe. Mistake number 4. Keeping things out of guilt, not use. We all do it. We keep the ugly vase your aunt gave you, even though it's not your style. We keep clothes that don't fit anymore because maybe one day. We hold on to broken appliances because I might fix it. But the truth is harsh. Every item you keep out of guilt is a weight on your identity. You're not just keeping things. You're keeping expectations, old versions of yourself, and emotional baggage. You can't grow into the person you're becoming if you're surrounded by constant reminders of who you were trying to please. How to fix it? Let go, and don't ask permission. Don't ask yourself, would they be hurt if I throw this away? Ask yourself, does this belong in the life I want to live? If the answer is no, it's time to release it. Not everything deserves a drawer in your home or a shelf in your mind. Let your space match your soul, not your shame. Mistake number 5, avoiding the hard corners of your home. Every house has them. The drawer you avoid. The closet that's packed so tight, it threatens to fall on you every time you open it. The box of important stuff you haven't opened in 3 years. These places are your psychological blind spots. They hold more than just mess. They hold decisions you've avoided. Grief you haven't processed. Projects you abandoned. And every time you ignore those corners, you're silently telling yourself, I can't handle this. That message becomes dangerous. It breeds helplessness. It becomes a belief. And then you start avoiding bigger things in life too. Hard conversations, overdue responsibilities, your own emotions. How to fix it? Face one corner like it's a turning point. Because it is. That one drawer, that closet, it's not just a cleaning task, it's a confrontation. You are declaring to yourself, I can deal with what I've been avoiding. And after you do it, something incredible happens. You feel lighter, braver, more capable. You start to realize the monsters you feared were just dust and delay. Personal moment. I once had a box in my hallway closet marked urgent. It sat there for 2 years. Every time I passed it, I felt anxious, like I was failing at something, even though I couldn't remember what was inside. One weekend I decided, enough. I opened it with shaky hands, only to find old tax documents, a broken hard drive, and a few unopened letters. Nothing life-shattering, just life I'd put off. I handled it in one afternoon, and for the first time in years, I felt like I was back in control. Not of everything, but of something. And that was enough to shift everything else. Mistake number 6, designing your home around your anxiety, not your joy. You ever notice how people arrange their homes based on fear? They keep things just in case. They position furniture to block space, not open it. They avoid bold colors, avoid personal touches, avoid anything that feels too much like them. Why? Because they're scared of standing out. Scared of being judged. Scared of admitting what they actually like. So they settle for safe, for beige, for functional but forgettable. And slowly, their home stops feeling like home. It becomes a bunker, a holding cell, a place to survive, not a place to be. How to fix it? Let your space reflect your joy, not your fears. Hang art that makes no sense to anyone but you. Buy the weird pillow. Paint the wall that color you secretly love, but always second guess. Your home should feel like you, not an apology. Because when you surround yourself with beauty, the kind that moves you, you start becoming someone who sees the beauty in everything else too. There are homes that are clean, organized, and aesthetically perfect, but still feel wrong. You walk in, and it's like the air is heavy. It doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel warm. It feels like someone once cried in that room and never really stopped. Like someone argued in that kitchen so many times, the walls learned to brace for shouting. Sometimes what ruins a home isn't the mess on the floor. It's the mess that lingers in the air. Mistake number 7, letting emotional residue go unchecked. Here's the truth nobody wants to say: your home holds trauma. Not in a spooky, supernatural way, but in a very real, nervous system kind of way. Every slammed door, every silent treatment, every night you cried yourself to sleep, every moment you held your breath, walked on eggshells, or tried to pretend everything was fine when it wasn't. Your home remembers, and if you never reset that energy, you'll always feel trapped, even if you've decluttered, painted the walls, and rearranged the furniture. Because what's poisoning the space isn't stuff, it's unprocessed emotion. How to fix it? Clean the air, not just the surfaces. Open every window, let the light in. Play music, loud, joyful music. Burn sage or incense, or simply spray the air with something that smells like change. But more importantly, speak truth into the room. Yes, out loud. Say, "This home is not a prison. This space is mine now. I am choosing peace, not fear." You might feel silly. That's okay. Do it anyway. Claim your space emotionally. Because healing isn't silent, it's a declaration. Mistake number 8, living in a home that's built on someone else's blueprint. You'd be shocked how many people live in homes designed entirely by someone else's expectations. The furniture their partner liked, the layout their parents said made sense, the aesthetic they saw on Pinterest and copied, even though it never felt like them. They live in someone else's dream and wonder why they feel like strangers in their own life. How to fix it? Ask yourself brutally, who are you trying to impress? And if the answer isn't yourself, you're building a life that doesn't belong to you. Change something, anything. Buy a lamp that's too weird. Move your bed. Paint a mural. Hang your childhood photos, your travel memories, your messiest art. Let your home be an honest reflection, not a performance. Because if you can't be you in your home, where can you? Personal moment. I once lived in an apartment that looked beautiful on Instagram. It had the neutral tones, the perfect lighting, the clean lines. People complimented it all the time. But I hated being there. It felt cold. Like I was living in someone else's magazine spread. One night, I sat on the floor, surrounded by perfectly placed throw pillows, and realized I hadn't laughed in that space in months. It looked good, but it didn't feel like me. The next day I donated half of what I owned, started over, built slowly, authentically. I lost followers on social media, but I found something much more valuable: presence. I felt at home for the first time in years. Mistake number 9, allowing digital clutter to replace real presence. Here's one most people overlook. Your home isn't just affected by physical things, it's affected by digital chaos too. The notifications, the constant TV in the background, the phone in every room, the tabs open on your laptop, the mindless scrolling on the couch until 2 a.m. Your home becomes overstimulating, not because it's messy, but because you're never mentally there. And that energy builds up. It creates anxiety, restlessness, a kind of numb noise that follows you from room to room. How to fix it? Create digital boundaries inside your physical space. Make one room, even just a corner, sacred. No screens, no background noise. Just quiet, or music you choose intentionally. Journal there. Meditate there. Talk there. Be with the space, not just in it. And when you're done, leave your phone behind. Let your home become a place of connection. To yourself, your thoughts, and the people who matter. Because your soul isn't built to live in 37 notifications at once. It needs silence, stillness, breath. We think our homes are just physical spaces, but more often, they're stages. And every person in that home, even when it's just you, is playing a role they didn't choose but learned. The caretaker, the peacemaker, the ghost, the angry one, the invisible one. These roles are subtle. They don't come with scripts. They form over time, shaped by past trauma, family patterns, old wounds, and unspoken rules. And they silently determine how you live inside your own walls. Mistake number 10. Living out roles that were never meant for you. You clean because no one else will. You stay quiet to keep the peace. You say yes to everything because you're terrified of being seen as selfish. You carry the mental load of the entire household, remembering the appointments, planning the meals, managing the chaos. And no one notices until you drop it. Sound familiar? These roles aren't random. They're survival mechanisms. They come from growing up in homes where love was conditional, where conflict was avoided, where emotions weren't safe. But here's the brutal truth. Just because a role kept you safe once, doesn't mean it belongs in your life now. You are not obligated to keep playing a part that breaks you. You are allowed to say, I don't want to be the strong one today. You are allowed to ask for help. You are allowed to be seen. How to fix it? Interrupt the performance. Start noticing the script, the part you always play. The way you clean before someone visits, even if it exhausts you. The way you smile when you're actually crumbling. The way you stay up late managing everything so others can rest. And then, pause. Don't fix, don't rescue, don't hide. Just be human. It will feel terrifying at first, but healing always does. Because healing means you stop earning love by suffering for it. Personal moment. There was a period in my life where I lived with a partner, and without realizing it, I became the manager. I handled everything: groceries, bills, cleaning, emotional support. It wasn't a conversation, it just happened. And I told myself I was just better at these things. But one night, I broke down in the bathroom. I was exhausted, not just physically, but soul tired. I realized I hadn't been asked to carry all that. I had assumed it. Because somewhere deep down, I believed that being needed was the only way to be loved. After that, I started unlearning. I let go. I let things fall apart a little. And guess what? The world didn't end. In fact, we started having real conversations, the kind we'd been avoiding. And that's when our home started to feel honest. The hidden mistake, believing that love is proven through sacrifice. This one will rattle you, especially if you grew up in a home where your parents struggled, where love looked like staying together no matter how miserable it was, where providing was seen as the ultimate expression of care. And so now you do the same. You tolerate, you endure. You say I'm fine when you're anything but. You hold the home together like a tightrope walker, and call that love. But here's the truth. Love built on silent sacrifice always turns into resentment. And a home filled with resentment is a slow poison. It infects every conversation, every sigh, every unspoken expectation, until one day there's nothing left but bitterness and blame. How to fix it? Redefine love inside your walls. Not as martyrdom, not as control, not as doing everything, but as truth. Love is saying, I need help. Love is saying, I'm overwhelmed. Love is letting someone carry their share. Love is building a home where everyone belongs, not just the version of you that cleans up after everyone. The deeper lesson: your home doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be present. Let go of perfection. Let go of roles. Let go of performance. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for your home is sit on the floor, unwash dishes in the sink, and be fully present with yourself or your loved ones. Because presence is peace. And peace is the one thing no object, no routine, no perfectly curated shelf can give you. We've talked about clutter, about guilt, about energy, trauma, overstimulation, and the roles we silently play. But now it's time for the truth people really don't want to hear. It's not your home that's the problem. It's your avoidance of your life. Most people don't have messy homes. They have messy minds, unhealed emotions, unprocessed grief. Decisions they've postponed for so long, the house had no choice but to reflect the weight of it all. And here's the controversial truth. Your home is a mirror, not a mask. It won't lie for you. You can buy the matching furniture, hang the motivational quotes, organize the pantry, light the candles. But if your inner world is chaos, your home will eventually show it. That's why the most beautiful homes can feel hollow. And why some imperfect homes, with mismatched chairs and a dented table, can feel warm, alive, sacred. Because it's never really about what's in the home. It's about what's happening inside the person who lives there. The dangerous mistake: using your home to escape, not heal. We've been sold a lie, that if you make your home beautiful enough, clean enough, aesthetic enough, it will fix your life. It won't. You can hide in productivity, drown in redecoration, obsess over cleaning routines, and still feel lost, still feel empty, still feel like something's off, but not know what. And it's because deep down, you've used your home not as a sanctuary, but as a distraction. From the real work, from the grief, from the fear, from the relationships that need boundaries, from the version of yourself you've outgrown but won't admit it yet. How to fix it: face what you've been avoiding, and then let your home follow your healing. Don't start by organizing your closet. Start by asking, what am I afraid to feel in this space? Is it loneliness? Is it shame? Is it anger? Is it the memory of who you were when you first moved in, and the pain that came with it? Go there. Let your healing lead the design of your home, not the other way around. Don't just clean your kitchen, clear your shame. Don't just rearrange furniture, rearrange the lies you've told yourself. Personal moment. I once lived in a house I thought was my dream home. Every room looked like a catalog. But I was depressed. I barely cooked. I sat in silence for hours, wondering why I didn't feel grateful enough, why everything still felt off. It hit me one night, while staring at a spotless, lifeless living room, that I had built a beautiful home on a cracked foundation. I was trying to curate happiness instead of creating it. I was trying to impress others instead of listening to myself. So I stopped cleaning for 2 weeks. I let the place get messy, and I finally felt everything. The rage, the grief, the emptiness, and then the clarity. After that, I started healing. For real. And little by little, the home changed too. But not for appearances, for truth. And truth feels better than perfect ever will. Now, I want to hear from you. If something in this video hit you hard, if you felt seen, called out, or maybe even uncomfortable, tell me. In the comments. Tell me the truth about your home. The messes you're hiding. The things you've been putting off. The memories you've been scared to face. Tell me what home means to you now, and what it used to mean. I will be reading every comment. I'll respond, I'll connect. Because this isn't just a video, it's a conversation. And maybe, if we're brave enough, it's the beginning of healing. Not just our spaces, but ourselves. If your home is always in chaos, it's not a cleaning issue, it's a self-respect issue. That's not meant to shame you. It's meant to wake you up. Because sometimes the deepest form of healing doesn't look like therapy or meditation. It looks like finally taking the trash out, donating the clothes you'll never wear again, sitting down at your kitchen table and eating like you deserve nourishment, lighting a candle and letting yourself feel safe. Not productive, not perfect, just worthy of peace. You do not need more cleaning hacks. You need more honesty. You are not behind. You're not broken. You just forgot that you matter, that this space matters, that life isn't meant to be endured in survival mode. It's meant to be lived fully, honestly, messily, beautifully. So what will you change in your home, in your life, starting today? Comment your story below. Let's talk. Let's grow. Together. And if this resonated, share it with someone else whose home and heart needs a reset.